couple months ago, I had a really close friend who was the same age as me, 64 years old, unexpectedly pass away from cancer that just seemed to come out of nowhere. Now, I'm sharing this not to surprise you because all of us have been touched by cancer in some kind of way, either personally or we've had it ourselves, or we've certainly known people that have had it, maybe family members, friends, or whoever, business associates. But we all know about it. And what it always causes me to think about is the fact is that none of us are completely susceptible. I mean, all of us are susceptible. That there are none of us who get a pass on that. We never know if we're going to get a disease like that or not. My friend seemed to be quite healthy, vibrant. He had grandchildren. He was still pursuing his career with no plans of retirement. He was making a very big difference in his career and in his life and with his family and in his marriage and so forth. And when I heard that and got wind of it, because I had not seen him in some time, and it sort of came out of left field for me. When I heard that, it caused me to ponder in a different way that I've pondered about other people that I've known that have either suffered with cancer or ultimately died from it. All of those have been hard in their own way. But this one involved a man who had been very influential in my life at an earlier time in my life, about 30 years ago. Helped me make some pretty significant career and personal decisions. And I would have assumed that he and I would have gone much longer in life than he did at 64. And it caused me to just ponder the things that you've heard so many times before. And that is, life is short. You never know what's going to happen from one moment to the next. You never know when God is going to say, that's it, I'm bringing you into my kingdom, or ending your life for whatever his purposes are. And when that happens, especially when it's someone really close to us, it causes us to think, I don't know how much time I have. I don't know what tomorrow's going to bring. I don't know what's going to happen an hour from now. I can't say what I'll do 5 years from now or what I will be doing 5 years from now, because there's no guarantees of that. I can plan for 5 years from now, but there's no guarantee that I'll be here. So all I can do is live each day as though it were my last. You've heard that before. You should live every day as though it was your last. Put together a bucket list and do some things in your life that you want to do for yourself, but also for the very important people in your life. Telling people that are close to you how much they mean to you more frequently than you do. Instead of assuming and taking for granted that they're going to be here, take every opportunity to remind them how important they are to you. My son is 24, and I talked to him today, and he's got so many plans, but he also relies on me for a lot of advice, especially when it comes to starting his business that he's starting. And every day that I talk to him, I tell him, I give him the advice that he wants, and then I just tell him how much I love him and how proud of him I am for holding on to his dreams and going for them. And I know it's those things like that, those things that take just a few seconds to say, that when God does take me out of this world, he's going to remember that. He's going to remember the countless times that I told him how proud I am of him and how much I love him. I do the same thing with my daughter, who's a few years older than my son, just 2 or 3 years older. And I tell her how proud I am of her and how much I love her. And just so many people in my life that I want to know what they mean to me and the contribution they've made to me. And I consider how I can be a blessing to them. Life is challenging. Life is stressful enough. The sweet moments are choices we make. We choose to make moments sweet. And we should not live off of the assumption that we have the next 90 days or the next 90 minutes. We shouldn't take anything for granted. None of us knows. This friend of mine, if I had talked to him 2 years ago, I'm sure that he would have told me how he's looking well into the future, into his much later golden years with his wife, and watching his grandchildren grow up to be young adults and productive citizens. But he didn't have that time. He got cancer, and it took him very quickly. And we've all heard stories of that. And I know that he spent the last months of his life making an impression upon the people closest to him. These are the things that I call the stuff of life. And hopefully, as you think about your life and your influences, that you don't assume anything. You don't assume the next 5 minutes. Now, you do what you can to stay healthy. You make good health choices. Especially the older that you get. I've got videos on here all about that. You try to maintain a healthy life. You try to take care of yourself. Try to take care of those people around you. But I'm not talking just physically. I'm talking about emotionally and spiritually, and even financially to some degrees. I mean, I'm 64 years old, and retirement isn't even a thought for me. I'm starting another business. That's one of the reasons I have this channel. I'm starting another business that I believe is going to be a blessing to not only me, but to countless other people as it relates to their health and to their finances. That's why so many of my videos are related to that. I've changed my health because of this particular business and the people that introduced me to it. But life is short. No matter how long we live, in the grand scheme of things, life is short. And opportunities to make someone smile or to remind them of how much they mean to you, those opportunities are few and far between. So you should take every opportunity, because the day may come when you wish you had those opportunities again. When my dad passed away 4 years ago, one of my biggest regrets was that I didn't tell him how much he meant to me as often as I wanted to. Now, he knew that I loved him and that I was proud to be his son. But one of the things that I've reflected upon many times is, now that he has left us, is the many times I had opportunity to give him a hug and tell him how much I loved him and still love him, and how much his life and his influence in my life meant to me. And I didn't take as many of those opportunities as I wish I had. Don't make any assumptions about the next 5 minutes. Make a difference in someone else's life. Because, as we all know, the stuff of life happens. And sometimes we're not as prepared for it as we would like to be.